Now, the ANC has launched its year-long renewal program as part of its 50th anniversary of the Morogoro Conference. The theme is walking in the footsteps of OR Tambo. Now, ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe joins us in studio this morning. Mr. Mabe, I can't miss this opportunity to ask you the question. Are you going to offer Mr. Maimane a job? He's a bit jobless for now.
Morning and morning to your viewers. We are not in that business. We are a revolutionary movement. There are a number of things that the ANC is seized with. One of them being what you just spoke of when you opened this set, which has got to do with our year-long renewal program that we are now driving as part of celebrating the 50 years of Morogoro. Because Morogoro for us was a watershed moment. And it is quite interesting that these developments are happening at the time when the ANC is commemorating 50 years of Morogoro. Because this also signals the turning point for South African politics, which is a very critical moment for us. We need to pause, self-reflect, and say, what does this mean to the development of our own body politics going forward?
Is it a moment for the ANC to pause? Because just moments ago there was an analyst sitting in that very chair where you are who spoke about the failing project of non-racialism or building a non-racial society in South Africa. Many people are saying what is happening in the DA, the unraveling in that party, is as a result of a failing project that was started by the ANC immediately after 1994.
Well, actually, to take it back, Toli, in 1969, one of the significant things that happened and why we always refer to that as a watershed moment was that the ANC adopted its strategy and tactics document, which laid the basis for the pursuance of the National Democratic Revolution, outlining methods that would be applied on how we advance our own revolution in this country. Amongst the things that the strategy and tactics of the ANC had captured as glaring in our own society are the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. One of the pillars or features of inequality is racial inequalities.
Do you admit that the ANC has failed in this project of non-racialism?
Well, I would admit that there are challenges, but then say that the ANC at the Morogoro Conference agreed that it needs to pursue non-racialism and began opening its own doors, especially at the level of leadership, to non-Africans. So now, this is not an end on itself. It is, in essence, one that has got to be pursued from time to time.
Can I ask you this question, Mr.
Yes.
Mabe? How deep do you think is racial polarization right now in the country?
I would have to agree with you that there is a deeper racial polarization.
What's the cause?
Our own, well, there could be a number of things. There could be others, especially those who come from a liberal orientation, wanting to maintain a status quo, and one that only affirms their own position, does not appreciate the essence of inclusivity, something that the ANC has always sought to fight for, champion, and develop programs around. That's why in the ANC leadership, you have got comrades who cut across various racial groupings.
Let me quickly ask you this then, as we wrap up our conversation. The theme for this year-long program of renewal.
Yes.
Walking in the footsteps of OR Tambo.
Be the renewal.
One of the longest-serving presidents of the ANC and one who achieved great feats.
Yes.
How in the world does the ANC justify that when in the day-to-day runnings of the party sits a man who is so beleaguered, Ace Magashule?
Well, I wouldn't want us to look at it in that way.
Why not?
And then let me make a point here, Toli. The Secretary General of the ANC is part of a collective elected at the 54th National Conference, a collective that had agreed that part of what it needs to champion and drive forward is the unity and renewal project of the African National Congress. The greatest things that all of us, including your Maimanis, have got to learn from the ANC is its ability to accept the outcomes of its internal democratic processes. and be able to have leaders of the ANC, regardless of the different views that they
that's
might
very
hold,
rich, because many people have said
forward.
that the ANC right now, or the ANC president right now, his efforts in government are being thwarted by those who are sitting at political level, whose skeletons are literally about to tumble out because of the mess that they've been doing in governments where Free State, for example, is falling apart.
But Koli, I can assure you now, without even falling into that other part of the narrative, that officials of the ANC, who include President Ramaphosa and our Secretary General Ace Magashule, meet regularly on Mondays to be able to then say, what is the deal for South Africa? What is the deal for our own structures? What are the things, what are the measures that our own cadres on the ground need to be doing to make sure that they foster the kind of renewal needed to drive things forward? You must understand, Koli, renewal is not something that we're going to achieve overnight. That's why we have even identified 6 tasks for our own cadres on the things that we said they must be doing. And amongst that is community work. Amongst that is making sure that they recruit a new member in the ANC on a daily basis. Amongst that is to make sure that they tweet. Because some of the issues you are raising could be on ANC members themselves speaking in variance on some of these social media platforms and sending a message out there that we are not at one. I can tell you now that the purpose of the renewal program that we are driving as part of the 50th anniversary of Morogoro is to make sure that we cement these unity efforts. We try and make sure that all of our cadres in the country, throughout all of our structures, work together as one to show the people of South Africa that we are not just a governing party, but we are a party that they can believe in, place their faith on.
Mabe, thank you very much for making the time to speak to us here on The First Take. He is the spokesperson of the African National Congress. Time for sport.